Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at your love life. Let's see the situation, the energy around it. Who's in your energy and any intentions moving forward. Plus, at the end, I will look at any hidden truth and I will go Aries through Pisces. So things have fallen apart, are they? The change, the endings, and the rebuilding moment, right? Where are you at during this phase? Um, this is a big realization. This is a big moment where, it's the inevitable. Finally, God has spoken. So it may feel like things are falling apart in your life right now, but are they? Or, it's like nobody likes endings. You're a fixed energy. But this is a chance, though, for you to really take a look at everything that you've done up to this point, where you've made choices, where you've put too much energy in, and you're able to rebuild now from a fresh ground, fresh start. So unfortunately, the Tower card always does sort of symbolize that there's something going on beneath the surface that everybody's trying to avoid, or your person's trying to avoid, or you're trying to avoid, and change is inevitable. So let's see what's going on. I do see a masculine energy underneath that. So somebody may be trying to hold something together, or trying to do the best they can to make it through something that's happening in their life. But a tower moment is like watching a tower fall is, watching the clock when you're doing a plank, it's horrible. So let's take a look at the energy here. I got, can we talk? Somebody wanted to talk things out. Maybe somebody was not realizing how difficult it would be without you, or realizing how difficult, maybe they thought this was going to be the big shabam, or something was going to happen, and, I'm doing the right thing, and we're arguing, and I feel like I was convicted in my ways, and I knew exactly what I wanted. But now you have somebody here kind of squirming around going, maybe I'm not quite sure that we made the right choice, or this is exactly what I want. The Tower card gets scary, and when people start going through uncertainty and they make choices and they're like, I'm going to do this and no matter what, and then when the reality hits, that's when everybody's like, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So it feels like the energy of a confession coming in. It feels like, you and another person maybe trying to rebuild a situation. Maybe you felt like it was over, or you feel like things are just not going anywhere and something does need to change. But let's have a talk about this, right? So what's the biggest challenge? Is that you're the peanut butter to my jelly. I love this card. All right. They're realizing that you're the one that keeps it together for them. How, it's like we forget in the heat of the moment, we let our emotions get the best of us. We break up too quickly. We argue over, the dumbest things sometimes, and maybe not. I'm not going to just dismiss anybody's reasoning for arguing, but love is love, and we're in these relationships and we get disturbed or mad, or we focus on some things that really aren't the root issue. And the problem with this is that you may have gone through something with somebody, maybe a divorce, maybe a breakup, maybe, and you guys just, things weren't stable, too uncertain. We said things that we didn't mean. And now somebody's realizing that they cannot do it without you. All right. I don't care if you don't like peanut butter and jelly, but peanut butter and jelly do go together. You can add a little fluff there in the middle if you want, but it is a combination that if you were, for all us poor folks out there, that was the best meal ever, right? And it's like, you can't replace that. You're irreplaceable to somebody. And sometimes people have to go through a huge, losing of everything before they realize what they lost, unfortunately. You know, we don't know who's there for us until we're at the bottom. When life crumbles, and who's there to still love you, even if you don't have it all. Who did you step on to get to where you're at, you know? And you start to question these things, you know, when a tower happens, and you start to realize that your ego took over at one point, and or your person's ego took over at one point and ran the show, and now reality is setting in. It seems like a big, huge crash and burn. So let's take a look at your person, their biggest challenge towards you right now, and you them. All right. What does Leo need to know about their person? I have a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Queen of Pentacles showing up here, and I see justice. So somebody really feels they're holding on to something. They're holding on to their pride first and foremost. This is somebody, it's not easy for them to admit they're wrong. And you know, somebody could have chose money, status, a relationship for some other reason, or put their job first, or, you know, and just the Queen of Pentacles, as a consequence, the Queen of Pentacles can sometimes be so ruthless and stomp and greedy just to get more and more money, more things, more, and but it doesn't bring you happiness at the end. And it feels as though your person is feeling the consequence of a situation that didn't maybe turn out the way they thought. You know, things didn't, you can't have control over everything. I see the Wheel of Fortune, I see the Justice card. So karma is coming back around. Now, whoever did the karma is going to feel it the most, you know. You know, sometimes superficial things take heed, you know, take precedence, and we don't care what we do or what we say or how we get there. But when we get into this mode and we think we're right about everything and we make choices, we you got to pay the piper at some point, right? And I'm seeing a situation coming around in your person here, or neither of you feeling very, very happy with the outcome of the situation. So can we both learn our lesson, and can we reconcile from this? This is a very karmic situation that I'm picking up on today. Your person, I see the Page of Pentacles. Looks like they're trying to rebuild themselves, right? One step at a time, right? Very thoughtful. You see a difference, though. You see Queen of Pentacles, and I see the Page of Pentacles. It's like somebody here is trying to take a look at where they may have made a mistake, or maybe they didn't do their homework. Maybe they thought everything was a certain way, and they thought they had all their dots dotted and their T's crossed, and they thought they were making a decision. And this could be somebody that's left you, Leo, or somebody that decided to, you know, because the Tower card can be a crisis. It can be a breakup, you know, divorce. It can be a life change. And somebody here maybe didn't expect it. They didn't expect you to leave their life, or didn't expect the outcome. They thought they were going to land in a better place, but it feels as though they're realizing that they may have lost more by losing you, or, you know, the choices that they're making. They're realizing that they didn't get what they were expecting from a situation. Their biggest challenge, though, is they're stuck. You know, the Chariot card, they have no direction now without you. So it feels like somebody's realizing really how important you are to them, and how important it was that you guys were a team. You know, we've got to do this together. You're the only one that really pulled this person, or this person pulls you through. It just feels like a real team at one point. And maybe finances, work, money, something, or status got in the way, and we made greedy decisions, and we decided not to follow our heart. You know, our focus went on somewhere else, rather than understanding one another's perspective. So you're being asked to take, your person's kind of taking a step back and doing a review of, where did things go wrong? Where did I lose track of this relationship? Where did I misunderstand you? Where did we lose each other when we both were so close at one point? How did we get to this place where now we're both rebuilding? And if we were to, step away from this relationship, we're off at square one. Or do we try to muscle through this and, work through this together and try to mend our relationship and move forward? So let's see your perspective. The Ace of Cups, and maybe you're looking for new love. Maybe you're done with this. Maybe you're over it. But what's your biggest challenge with this person? The Knight of Pentacles. All right. Maybe procrastination. Maybe this person has a lot of goals or makes a lot of promises but doesn't follow through. You have a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So somebody here who may not be as responsible or doesn't hold themselves accountable for certain things. Maybe you feel like you're the one that is always being the one that's responsible, being the Queen of Pentacles, right? You feel there is a mother-child type of dynamic in this relationship where it feels like you're the caretaker, you're the protector, you're the one that would do anything for this person, but this person may not have been seeing what you've been putting in, what you've been doing, and how hard you've been working. Now, your person too could feel the same way. They could feel like you weren't seeing what they were doing. So it can be, if this is a relationship, an ongoing situation, and one that you feel like it's on the edge of deterioration, it feels like maybe both of you feel like the other person wasn't getting me. Right? They weren't hearing me out. They weren't paying attention to my needs. We were battling each other. So it seems like really working against each other at this point. When the two of you work together, you jive and you guys make magic happen. So somewhere the relationship got lost. Somewhere it became all about, what do you do for me? What do I do for you? Who works more? Who's working more? What's going on here? And we lost track of spirit. We lost track of focus. And this is saying where there's a will, there's a way. And it feels as though this relationship, somebody really does want to mend something or make amends before you guys completely fall apart. Or if you already have broken up, somebody's realizing where, how they got to where they're at is because of you. Or, you guys made it to as far as you got because you helped each other, you influenced each other. But now it's like, maybe you're ready for new love. You're ready for something different. Maybe you're tired of waiting on this person. Put in work in, put in time in, put in effort in. So there is a bit of procrastination and laziness here with your person, Leo. Like it feels like they just don't want to make things work. They don't want to do the work, right? And so what's happening now is they're facing their own reality of, what am I going to do next? What else is out there? So starting to realize, we need to bring love back into the situation. All right. They're realizing how important you are really to them. Now let's see their next intentions towards you. You do have Cancer energy here, and you have somebody here that does want to talk about what you mean to them. All right, but is it a little bit too late? Are you worn out from it? Have you decided to move on and really find new love? All right, I do see somebody here, Eight of Swords. Your person's really stressing right now, really wanting to confess that they have made decisions that they thought were going to work in their favor. And at the same time, it worked against them. So, what does Spirit think you should do? And I'm like the Devil card, right? So, this is really triggering you. What if we get one more card with that? The Ace of Swords. It's like you're still wanting some sort of forgiveness or some sort of reconciliation, the truth. You want this person to express themselves to you. It looks as though it's really weighing on you too with the Devil card and the Ace of Swords. Like you may have said something, or you may be really aggravated with this person, mad at this person. It's hard for you to see this person clearly right now because it looks like they've made many promises to you, but they haven't followed through. And it also feels like you weren't expecting them to treat you a certain way, and the reality is still sitting there with you. So it feels like maybe you're holding on to a grudge, all right, with the person, with the way things turned out. So I'm feeling like today I'm really picking up on energies of you know, these deeper wounds, these deeper confessions today, that where somebody is realizing that you guys could go a lot further if you could work out your issues together and would have stuck together or stick it through, as opposed to just taking the easy way out. Now it feels like your person may be taking the easy way out, or did take the easy way out, and now they're feeling, you know, they're realizing that it was their own, you know, choices, their own disbeliefs, their own beliefs in a situation that they thought would turn out better for themselves, is what got them into this circumstance with you. So anything else Spirit wants you to know about this connection? I'll go through Aries through Pisces. I see the Two of Pentacles here as well too. It feels like you've got a lot of weighing out to do. All right. But it does look like it's hard for you to see clear. All right. This person may have really triggered you, triggered some, you know, they may have lied, you know, maybe there's something going on between the two of you. You said something and you're just not sure if you can process everything that you're dealing with this person. But again, the Tower card comes in when it's inevitable. We have to face the truths about things. So whether you've already dealt with the Tower or you're up against the Tower trying to avoid it, it looks like there is some sort of conversation coming up about choices that were made, and that we were being greedy rather than following our heart. All right. So whoever that's for, let's see their hidden truth. And I will look at each zodiac. Let me get a hidden truth from your person. Ooh. I wish you would come back. All right. So it's like, how did we get here? Is what I'm getting. How did we get here? All right. You're the one that I want to be with. And it seems like we really pushed each other's buttons. We really deceived one another. You know, this person really triggered you. So they may have brought out the worst in you, or they do bring out the worst in you. And but it does seem like anger or even some negative thoughts you're having about, like, it's really about, we need to weigh this out. We need to see, is this something worth salvaging? Is this salvageable? You know, do we want to take the next step? Do we want to get, you know, to talk things out? Do we want to hear each other out? And, you know, this is what I'm feeling. I feel like somebody really does want to have a heartfelt conversation with you. I have trouble with intimacy as well, and I don't want to let you go. So somebody, intimacy is not just, it's not just sex, right? It's being able to have a discussion and talk about our fears and talk about, and this could be you too as well, Leo. You know, you don't like to discuss your deeper fears. You don't want to take a look at what's troubling you or what's happening. You know, it could be something like that. You know, it's like we want to have a conversation, we want to have a deep conversation, but every single time we try to, we end up fighting, is what I'm getting. You know, it's hard. You get triggered easy by this person. Maybe there was some deception, you know, there could have been some dishonesty on your path in the past, and maybe you feel like you're still being kind of, you know, burdened by it. Like, am I ever going to find peace with it? Are you ever going to let me, are you ever going to try to work this out with me? You know, so it can go either way. But I do see that, you know, they don't want to let you go regardless. And it's being able to maybe find somebody else to help mediate this situation so you guys can talk things out before you just give up on a situation that looks like it's deep love between you and this person. Aries, I see the Hierophant. So definitely feeling the lesson. All right. They're still loyal to you, very committed to you, and would still give this a go if you guys wanted to. Taurus, I see Seven of Cups. So Taurus is constantly thinking about where this can go. You know, I still want to see us go together. I still want to see us have a future together. But sometimes I'm constantly uncertain about, you know, whether I can meet your expectations, or, you know, or yeah, whether I can meet your expectations. Gemini, Three of Swords. So Gemini is dealing with a separation with you and still feeling the pain, right? They're not feeling good about the decision that happened. It hurts more than they thought it would. Cancer, I see the Strength card. So Cancer hanging on. I just did Cancer's reading, and Cancer's like, look, I told you so. You know, this is a very strong bond, and, or, you know, it's like you guys keep, you know, muscling each other. You guys keep pushing each other's buttons. But this is a chance for you guys to overcome and heal a situation. Leo, you have the 7 of Wands. So this is about guarding, defending yourself, protecting yourself, and voicing your opinion. All right. There's a challenge coming your way, but there is still a chance to fight for this if you're willing to, if you're wanting it. Virgo, I see the Hermit card. So Virgo may be distant. Virgo may be going off on their own, doing a little soul searching. All right. So right now it may feel like you guys are distant, but just know that there is a conversation in the works. Libra, I see Ace of Pentacles, wanting a fresh start with you. Libra's like, you're my solid ground. You're the one that means the world to me. Scorpio, I see the Tower card. All right. So there's a lot of Tower, a lot of awakening, a lot of realizing truths, and maybe a breakup happening or an argument about to happen, right? Where we're finally seeing the truth about a situation. It's like, how did we get here? Sagittarius, I see the 9 of Wands, same thing. Sag is like, I don't want to give up on this. We've been through so much, but it's like, why does it keep becoming so difficult between us, And Capricorn, I see the King of Wands. So Capricorn's all about making things happen, very ambitious energy, but it does feel as though they're at a point where they're realizing they may have not been able to get there without you. Aquarius, it's that song too. What was that song by Haley? What's her name? And her boyfriend there, Hallie. Aquarius, 9 of Swords. So Aquarius feeling very regretful, very upset about what's gone down between the two of you. So they may be asking for forgiveness. And Pisces, I see the Queen of Cups. So Pisces really in their feelings, trying to process everything that happened. They love you. They may be protecting their heart, trying to figure out where they stand, but it looks as though maybe emotions got in the way, but there is definitely love for you. Let's see any other messages from your person, and then spirit advice and your yes or no bonus card for my Leos. Woo. They wish to start all over with you. All right. And they're trying hard to earn your love, Leo. Is somebody really, I don't know, kicking themselves in the ass or something? Maybe they thought they'd get one over you. Maybe they thought, I don't know, but that's what I'm getting here. What does Spirit want you to know? All right. Don't forget to come hang out at membership today. We have an amazing collab with Dr. Ann Wolke from High Vibe TV. We're going to be looking at tarot and how to read it from the perspective that I use too, so you'll understand a little bit deeper in working with it yourself. So it's pretty cool. It's going to be going on for about a year, but this is the start of it. I have lay it on the altar, hand it over, soften up, surrender, and forgive. All right. Sometimes it's not even about, some of you might be like, oh, it's too hard to forgive this person, or, but really it's for yourself. It's for yourself, right? It's being able to just, it is what it is. I did everything I could, and now God guide me however you see fit, right? So think of your question. I will pull a yes, no bonus message. Think about hyping and subscribing. Think about hitting that QR code if you want a really awesome candle I made or reading. And let's go. What's the answer to your question on your mind? I have yes, but I also have Sagittarius energy. So some of you, that could be confirmation with a Sag, forgiveness coming in with a Sag. We see Mercury energy, which is processing, which is seeing things differently, communicating differently, having a conversation, having an honest conversation, which is coming your way. The only thing about the 8 of Wands is that sometimes honesty is brutal. Can you handle the honest truth? Can your person say to you what they really want to say without you freaking out, even if it's not your truth? We have to honor somebody else's truth. The only way to get to some sort of compromise is to at least hear where each other stands, so we know where we're at. And then we can, and that's how you build the intimacy. So I feel like lots of communication and news coming your way. Somebody wanting to confess to you something. And good luck, guys. I love you guys. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, everybody that was here. I'll see you guys later.